The canvas of our plane smells like old socks and engine oil, and the cold is so complete it has become something solid, something you can touch. Katya and I sit side by side in the open cockpit, wearing men's boots stuffed with newspaper because they don't make flying boots in our size. The boots are too large and they slip around our feet when we walk, making us look like children playing dress-up in our father's clothes. But in the air, none of that matters. In the air, we are death itself, silent and sure. My logbook says I have flown 417 combat missions since joining the 588th Night Bomber Regiment. Katya, my navigator, keeps a tally on the inside of her glove. She's more superstitious than I am, counting each mission like prayer beads, as if the numbers themselves might keep us alive. We have flown together for so long that I can anticipate her movements before she makes them, can feel when she's about to tap my shoulder to signal a course correction. Tonight, we fly our 5th mission of the night. The sun set 4 hours ago and won't rise for another 8. These long winter nights are our advantage, giving us more darkness to work with, more time to harass the fascists below. But they're also exhausting. By the 3rd or 4th mission, your arms feel like lead from fighting the controls, and your eyes blur from the strain of searching for tiny lights in an ocean of black. We carry 6 bombs tonight, 3 under each wing of our Polycarpov Po-2. The plane is a biplane from the 1920s, made of plywood and canvas stretched over a frame, originally designed for crop dusting and training student pilots. It's not built for war. The maximum speed is barely faster than a car on a highway, and the Germans joke about it being a sewing machine because of the sound it makes. But this rickety flying coffin is perfect for what we do. It's so slow that the German fighters overshoot us when they try to intercept us. Their fancy Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs unable to slow down enough to get a clean shot. And it's maneuverable in ways their planes aren't, able to twist and turn through the sky like a bird. Most importantly, it's quiet when we want it to be. That's the key to our whole operation. We fly toward the German lines until we can see their campfires below, tiny orange dots in the darkness. Then, I cut the engine back to idle, reducing it to barely a whisper. The wind whistles through the struts and rigging as we glide silently over the target. Katya releases the bombs one by one, and we feel the plane rise slightly with each drop as the weight leaves us. The Germans below hear nothing until the bombs start exploding, and by then, we're already banking away into the darkness, the engine roaring back to full power as we race back to our base. They call us night witches, Nachthexen in German. They say we make a sound like witches on broomsticks sweeping through the night sky. The nickname was meant to insult us, to diminish us, but we wear it with pride. Let them be afraid of witches. Let them lose sleep wondering when we'll return. That's our job. Not just to drop bombs, but to break their spirit, to make them understand that even in the dark they are not safe. We return to base after each mission to refuel and rearm, a process that takes maybe 20 minutes if the ground crew is fast. The mechanics are women too, working through the night in conditions as brutal as ours, their hands raw from handling frozen metal. They patch our planes when we return with bullet holes in the canvas, refuel us, load new bombs, and send us back out into the darkness. By dawn, most of us will have flown 8 or 10 missions. On good nights, when the weather cooperates and the targets are plentiful, some crews manage 15 or even 18. The most I've ever done in one night was 16. I was so exhausted by the end that I couldn't remember landing the plane, couldn't remember walking back to the barracks. I just woke up 12 hours later with my boots still on, my flight suit smelling of smoke and fear. Katya says she has nightmares about the sound of anti-aircraft fire, the way the shells burst around us in flowers of orange light. I have nightmares about fire. Our planes are made of wood and canvas. If a tracer round hits us, we don't have minutes to react. We have seconds. I've seen 3 crews go down in flames this month alone. You don't forget the sight of it, the way the plane lights up like a match, the way it falls. We don't carry parachutes. The extra weight would mean fewer bombs, and besides, we fly so low that there wouldn't be time to use them anyway. So we make our choice every time we climb into the cockpit. We accept the possibility that this mission might be our last, that we might become another name in the regiment's roll of honor, another ghost haunting the cold Russian sky. But we keep flying. We fly because our country is being invaded, because the fascists are burning our villages and murdering our people. We fly because we can, because someone gave us planes and said, "Show us what you can do." And we intend to prove that we can do anything. Before the war, I was a student. I studied literature and dreamed of teaching, of living a quiet life with books and ideas. The war changed all of that. When Marina Raskova, our hero, the Soviet Amelia Earhart, called for women to join the Air Force, I volunteered immediately. I was 19 years old. They trained us in 6 months, a fraction of the time it takes to train male pilots, because there was no time for a longer program. The fascists were already deep into our territory. We learned to fly by doing it, practice navigation by getting lost and finding our way home, learn to drop bombs by dropping them. Some of us died during training, more died during our first months of combat, but those of us who survived became very, very good at what we do. Now I'm 22, ancient by the standards of the 588th. Most of us are teenagers or in their early 20s, girls who should be in university or getting married or starting careers. Instead, we're flying obsolete biplanes into enemy territory night after night, carrying death beneath our wings. The men in the other regiments don't take us seriously at first. They think we're a publicity stunt, a propaganda tool to boost morale. But after they see what we can do, after they watch us complete mission after mission while they're grounded by weather or darkness, their mockery turns to respect. Some of them even envy us, envy our freedom and our reputation. They paint red stars on their planes to mark their kills. We paint flowers, little red roses and forget-me-nots and daisies scattered across our canvas wings like a spring meadow. It's Katya's idea, a small act of defiance against the ugliness of war. If we're going to be warriors, let us at least be beautiful warriors. Let there be some grace in the darkness. I think about beauty now as we approach our target, a German supply depot marked on Katya's map. The night is clear and cold, and above us the stars are brilliant, scattered across the sky like diamonds on black velvet. In another life, in another time, this would be a night for lovers to gaze at the stars and make wishes. Instead, it's a night for death, for the bombs we carry and the fires they'll start. I cut the engine and we begin our glide, silent as a falling leaf. Below us, the German camp is visible as a collection of lights and shadows. I can see trucks and tents, can see men moving between buildings. They have no idea we're above them, no idea that in 30 seconds, their world will explode. Katya's hand is steady as she releases the first bomb. Then the second, then the third. 6 bombs in total, dropped in a pattern that will maximize the damage. The plane rises with each release, lighter and more responsive. Then we're banking away, the engine roaring back to full power, and behind us the night blooms with fire and noise. Another mission complete. Another night of making the fascist afraid of the dark. When we land, the ground crew is waiting. They count the holes in our canvas, patch them quickly, and send us back up into the darkness. There are 4 more missions to fly before dawn, 4 times to roll the dice and hope we come back. But for now, in this moment, we're alive. The stars are above us and the wind is in our faces and we are flying, free and fierce and unafraid. Let them call us witches. Let them fear the sound of our engines in the night. We are the 588th Night Bomber Regiment, and we will not stop until the fascists are driven from our land. The 6th mission of the night begins 23 minutes after we land from the 5th. Barely enough time to refuel, to load new bombs and gulp down a cup of tea that's more hot water than actual tea, but provides a moment of warmth in the freezing night. My hands are shaking as I climb back into the cockpit. Not from fear, but from exhaustion and cold. I've been flying for 7 hours straight with only these brief breaks between missions. My body is running on adrenaline and stubbornness, every muscle protesting the continued abuse. Katya looks worse than I feel, her face gray with fatigue in the dim light of the airfield. But she climbs into her position without complaint, settling in behind me with her maps and bombing calculations. We don't speak. There's nothing to say that we haven't already said 100 times before. We just go through our pre-flight checks by muscle memory, confirming that everything is as it should be, that our patched and battered plane is ready for one more mission. The engine catches on the third try, coughing to life reluctantly. For a moment, I wonder if it will fail us, if this will be the night our luck runs out. But it settles into its familiar rough purr, and I taxi the plane toward the end of the makeshift runway. Our airfield isn't really an airfield at all, just a cleared area in a forest, marked with lanterns that will be extinguished as soon as we take off. We're constantly moving our base, staying one step ahead of German reconnaissance, operating in the shadows. I push the throttle forward, and we bounce down the rough ground, gaining speed slowly, too slowly. The Po-2 is not a powerful aircraft, and with a full bomb load, it's sluggish to respond. But gradually, we pick up speed, and then the wheels leave the ground, and we're climbing into the black sky, leaving the earth behind once more. I bank toward our target area, following the course Katya plotted during our brief time on the ground. This target is different from the others tonight. It's a German headquarters, a collection of buildings that house officers and communications equipment. Intelligence suggests it's an important node in their command structure, the kind of target that could disrupt their operations if we hit it successfully. But it's also heavily defended, ringed with anti-aircraft guns that have shot down 2 of our planes in the past week. This is a dangerous mission, more dangerous than the routine harassment runs we usually fly. I can feel the tension in Katya's body behind me, can sense her nervousness even though she doesn't speak. We both know what we're flying into. We both know the odds. But orders are orders, and the target is legitimate. And if we don't fly this mission, someone else will. Might as well be us. We're good at what we do. If anyone can hit this target and survive, it's us. The German position appears ahead, a cluster of lights in the darkness. I can see the headquarters buildings clearly, can see the vehicles parked outside, can see the telltale searchlights that mark the anti-aircraft positions. They're expecting us. They know the night witches come every night. They've been preparing. As if on cue, searchlights snap on, great white beams slicing through the darkness, searching for us. I bank hard to the left, keeping us just outside their range. The trick is to approach from an unexpected angle, to come in low and fast and be gone before they can react. But with this many searchlights, with this much defensive fire, there's no angle that's truly safe. I make my decision. Instead of the usual silent glide attack, we'll come in with the engine running, trading stealth for speed. It's not our usual technique, but tonight calls for adaptation. I push the throttle forward, picking up speed, keeping low to make ourselves harder to spot. Behind me, Katya is calculating the bombing run, factoring in our speed and altitude and the wind. She's done this hundreds of times, but it never becomes routine. Each bomb run is unique. Each one requires fresh calculations. Each one demands perfect timing. The searchlights catch us. Suddenly, we're pinned in brilliant white light, completely exposed, and the anti-aircraft fire begins immediately. I can see the tracers rising toward us, streams of glowing death that seem to move in slow motion, but are actually traveling faster than sound. I throw the plane into a hard right turn, then immediately left, jinxing and weaving, trying to make ourselves an impossible target. The plane shudders as something hits us, a tracer round passing through the canvas somewhere. But the engine keeps running, and the controls still respond, and we're still flying. That's all that matters. We're still flying. Katya taps my shoulder 3 times rapidly, the signal to begin our run.
I level out, pointing us directly at the headquarters complex. For 10 seconds, we have to fly straight and steady, giving Katya the stable platform she needs to aim properly. For 10 seconds, we're a perfect target for the guns below. This is when most planes get shot down, in these crucial seconds when maneuverability must be sacrificed for accuracy. The anti-aircraft fire intensifies. Shells are bursting all around us now, close enough that I can feel the concussion waves, close enough that fragments of shrapnel ping against our frame. The plane shudders, but I hold it steady, gritting my teeth, refusing to flinch. Katya releases the bombs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them dropped in a tight pattern. The plane leaps upward, suddenly light, and I immediately bank hard left, diving toward the ground, getting out of the searchlights, escaping the kill zone. Behind us, the bombs detonate. I glance back and see the headquarters complex erupting in flames, buildings collapsing, vehicles exploding. We hit it. We actually hit it. A perfect run on the most heavily defended target we've attacked in weeks. But there's no time to celebrate, because we're not safe yet. I'm flying nap of the earth, barely clearing the treetops, using the terrain to mask us from the German guns. Tracers are still following us, the gunners firing blind now that we're out of the searchlights, hoping to get lucky. Something hits us again, a heavier impact this time. The plane shudders violently and starts pulling to the left. Control damage. Something in the rigging or the control surfaces has been hit. I fight the controls, trying to keep us level, trying to maintain altitude. The plane wants to spin to the left, wants to roll into a dive that would end in the ground in fire and death. But I won't let it. I use all my strength on the stick, physical force opposing the damaged aircraft, willing it to fly straight. "How bad?" Katya shouts over the engine noise. "Bad," I shout back, "but flyable, I think. I hope." I pray to whatever gods watch over full women in canvas planes. We limp toward our base, the plane fighting me every meter of the way. My arms are screaming with the effort of holding the controls steady, my whole body braced against the stick. Sweat runs down my face despite the freezing air. This is terror in its purest form. Not the explosive fear of combat, but the grinding certainty that we might not make it home, that this damaged plane might fail us at any moment. Our base appears ahead, marked by the lanterns. I've never been so happy to see those dim lights. But landing is going to be difficult. With the damaged controls, I don't have the precise handling I need for a normal landing. I'm going to have to come in hot and hard, and hope the plane holds together long enough to get us on the ground. I call out our approach, warning the ground crew that we're coming in damaged. They scatter, giving us plenty of room, ready for the possibility that we might crash. I line up with the runway, such as it is, fighting the controls every second. The plane wants to slip left, wants to spin, wants to do anything except fly straight. But I force it, muscle it, bully it into compliance. We cross the threshold and I cut power, letting us drop toward the ground faster than I'd like, but with no other choice. The wheels hit hard, bouncing us back into the air for a terrifying moment before slamming down again. The plane slews to the left despite my best efforts, skating across the rough ground, threatening to ground loop and partwheel and kill us both. But somehow we stay upright. Somehow we keep sliding forward in something resembling a straight line. And finally, we shudder to a stop. For a long moment, neither Katya nor I move. We just sit in the cockpit, breathing hard, letting the reality sink in that we're alive, that we made it back. Then the ground crew is swarming around us, helping us out of the plane, supporting us because our legs don't want to hold our weight. I look back at our aircraft and see the damage clearly for the first time. Dozens of holes in the canvas, some small, some large enough to put my fist through. A control cable half severed, hanging by a few strands. It's a miracle we made it back. It's a miracle the plane stayed in the air at all. The crew chief walks around the aircraft, assessing the damage, her face grim. "This one's done for tonight," she says finally. "Maybe for several nights. That's extensive damage." Which means Katya and I are done for tonight too. You can't fly without a plane. Relief floods through me. Shameful relief, because I'm glad our plane is too damaged to fly. Glad that I have an excuse to stop, to rest. 6 missions in one night. 6 times we roll the dice with death. That's enough. That has to be enough. But even as I think it, I look at the other crews preparing for their next missions, and guilt gnaws at me. They're still flying. They're still fighting. Who am I to rest while the war continues? "Come on," Katya says, taking my arm. "Let's get some tea. Maybe some food if there's any to be had." We stumble toward the command tent, our bodies moving on autopilot. Inside, the warmth hits us like a physical force. A wood stove in the corner pumps out blessed heat, and for the first time in hours, I can feel my fingers and toes. The regimental commander, Major Brushenskaya, looks up from her maps as we enter. "Good work tonight," she says specially. "That headquarters hit. Intelligence is already reporting significant disruption in German communications. You did well." The praise should feel good, but mostly I'm just numb. Too tired to feel much of anything except exhaustion. Katya and I collect our tea and find a corner to collapse in, sitting on the floor with our backs against the wall. Around us, other crews are coming and going, some heading out for missions, some returning. The tent is a hive of activity, of controlled chaos, of women fighting a war in the only way we're allowed to fight it. "Do you ever wonder what we'll do after?" Katya asks quietly. "After the war, I mean, when this is all over." I think about it, trying to imagine a future beyond this endless cycle of missions and danger and exhaustion. "I don't know," I admit. "Go back to university, maybe. Finish my degree. Try to remember what normal life feels like." "If we remember," Katya says, "if we survive to see the end." It's the question that haunts all of us, the uncertainty we carry on every mission. Will we survive this war? Will we make it to the end, or will we become another name on the memorial? Another young woman who burned bright and fast and then was gone. The statistics aren't encouraging. Our regiment has the highest casualty rate of any aviation unit in the Soviet Air Force. Flying obsolete planes on dangerous missions night after night, the odds are against us. But we can't think about the odds. We can't let the fear paralyze us. We just have to keep flying, keep fighting, keep believing that somehow we'll make it through. Outside, I hear another Po-2 taking off, its engine coughing to life and then fading as it climbs into the night sky. Another crew heading out into the darkness. Another roll of the dice. I close my eyes and let the warmth of the tent seep into my bones. Just a few hours of rest, I tell myself. Just enough sleep to restore some fraction of my energy. Then tomorrow night we'll do it all again. Tomorrow night, if our plane is repaired, Katya and I will climb back into that canvas cockpit and fly into the darkness once more. Because that's what we do. That's who we are. Night witches. The women who taught the Germans to fear the dark.